Hola everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Roxanne. If it's your first time here, then welcome. So I had been really good this year about not getting books. And then April happened. I will say though that I was good about the amount of money that I spent. These are actually all used books, and I think I spent about 15 bucks each time. So I have a total here of 9 books, and I only spent about $30 on them. So that's not bad at all. So I have a few here, sort of diverse books. The first is a nonfiction memoir. It's called Bird of Paradise: How I Became Latina by Raquel Cepeda. I had this on my TBR for a really long time, and I just hadn't gotten around to getting it. And then I started seeing it a lot again recently in the Latinx Bookstagram accounts that I follow, and it just happened to be at the used bookstore. This one was actually only $1. They had a newer copy, which I think was maybe like $9, $9.50, but this is $1, and it's just like a little bit more used, or it looks like a little bit more used. But $1, like that wasn't even a question. Then I have a mystery. I think this is the first in a mystery series, and I saw this in someone's wrap up, and I commented specifically on this one that it sounded interesting, and I cannot remember who it was now, unfortunately. But this is a Black female author, and it's a mystery. It's the first in a mystery series, and it's called Bluebird by Attica Locke. And I think this takes place in Texas. It's a black Texas Ranger, and yeah, it seemed really interesting when I heard about it during one of the March Mystery Madness wrap-ups, and so I'm glad I got that one. And this one was $5. Then I have the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. This is the first in the Broken Earth trilogy. And I have already read this in the past, but I remember I enjoyed it, but I feel like it's one of those that I should have delved more deeply into. And I think in my moods or something like that, I didn't have it anymore. So I saw this at the used bookstore, and I decided to pick it up so I can restart this series. I had only read the first, so I'm excited to read more diverse fantasy. And then I have In the Time of the Butterflies by Julia Alvarez. This is a historical fiction. Yeah, it's set in the 1960s, and it is inspired by these sisters who were revolutionaries and tried to fight for against a dictator in the Dominican Republic. And I think so butterflies refers to the sisters. And I think this is not necessarily like in any sort of order. It's not necessarily directly linked to any of the other books that she's written, like How the Garcia Girls Lost Their Accent, but there are sort of references to things of the other books in some of her other works, because I've read How the Garcia Girls Lost Their Accent, and I read I think A Middle Grade by Julia Alvarez, and you sort of in the peripheral hear about things that she mentions in the other books, so that's interesting. And then the rest of the books are by the same author. So if you saw my March TBR or wrap up or reading vlog, I will link all of them in case you haven't. They are all up if you want to check them out. You all saw how much in love I fell with oh, that's a weird way of saying that. How much I loved the Elizabeth George books, the Detective Lindley series. There are 20 books in the series. I read 2. I did not read them in order. At this point, I don't know if I'm going to be able to read them in order, just because now I have 5 other ones that are also not in order, but they were used and they were in great condition and a great price. So was I really going to not pick them up? Come on. So yeah, they are, I actually did get the very first in the series, so I can at least read that one. And it is A Great Deliverance. This is the first in the Galileo, don't eat that. You're trying to eat a dead leaf. This is the first in the series, and then the order sort of escapes me for the rest of these. So then we have a Traitor to Memory. This was, I think, $4, and it looks brand new. It even has a bookmark inside of it. So this is A Traitor to Memory hardcover. I'm also gonna have to get, if you saw the Things I Hate in Books video that I did, I hate mismatched series. That's just something that I'm gonna have to get over when it comes to this one, because there are so many of them and I'm probably gonna get the majority of them used. I'm just gonna have to get over it. What Came Before He Shot Her by Elizabeth George. I think this is another sort of recent one. This one might be like number 17 or 18 or something like that. This is A Banquet of Consequences and Believing the Lie. So I think this also has had like different publishers. So this is Viking, this is New American Library, this says HarperCollins, this says Bantam. So they might all be distributed by the same publisher, but there's just no way that I think I'm gonna ever be able to have a complete matching set, but that's fine. It is what it is. So I have those 4 by Elizabeth George, and so you all know again that my goal throughout the year is to read all of the books that were physically on my shelf on the 1st of that year. So ideally, all of these books would be saved, would be the priority for next year, only because I have so many currently on my shelves. If I had like 2 unread books on my shelves, then obviously these would be for now, but I want to be able to get through, I think I have like maybe 70 that were originally on my shelves at the beginning of the year, which is really, really good. That's like the least I've had in a really long time, because I've been really good about my goal this year. So these will probably be for at either late this year or early next year. Will I be able to hold off? I don't know. We'll see, because I really did love the series so much, and I can't wait to get back into that world, those characters. What I love is that she is essentially taking this little community, and we're getting always, I think maybe of the last 5 videos, 2 he hasn't had to go to the bathroom while I'm filming. Okay. I don't even remember what I was saying. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to hold off on getting to these. Because, oh, right, that's what I was saying. So she just really, I think, obviously you read them for the mystery, but really what she does is she takes this small community and she deep dives into them and to their characters and their personalities, and you get to know so much about this community, even if everything that you learn is not directly tied to the mystery. It is really about these characters. So if you love character-driven books, I would definitely pick these up, because they are chunkers, because they're about more than just the mysteries, and I love that. And then I have a book from the library that finally became available. I've been wanting it for a really long time, and it is Dragon Hoops by, let me look up how to say the name. Okay, Jean Luen Yang. I think I've read one of his other books before, and I enjoyed that. And this actually was in a few people's like favorites of the year for last year, and it is a graphic novel memoir, also sort of like history sports book all in one, and it's about how Gene doesn't get sports. He never really did. He was kind of afraid of basketball, and it becomes a sort of deep dive into the sport and into its history and its impact, and learning about the sport and developing a love for it. And I have always loved basketball. I've always loved sports. My dad was an athlete growing up, and he got me into sports as a kid. So sports has always been important in our family, but I would say that during the past like year and a half or so, I have fallen so much and more than I already did in love. Again, with the way that I say that with basketball, when they were playing NBA in the bubble, I was watching every single game. Like I've started following a bunch of sports apps and news sporting apps and everything like that, and it's just become a much bigger part of my life, and I love sports and I love basketball. And so this book just called out to me, and I am so excited to get to it. So I got this from the library, so this has been bumped up in my TBR, and if I love it as much as I predict that I will, it will be making an appearance permanently in my shelves. So there's this one. So yep, those are the books that I have recently acquired. Let me know if you have read any of these and what you thought about them. And yeah, as always, thank you for watching and for listening. I love you all very, very much.